The last trip we ended exactly on that beach, coming down to where I spotted the cave that I was expecting to use as a shelter from the rain. And I did show you the first cave, which was quite shallow and low. However, right now we are in front of the second cave, which only looked like a cave really. Under closer inspection, you can see right now behind me, it is well, maybe one day it's gonna be a cave, but it's not yet. However, very interesting thing I noticed was a group of people climbing over that ridge. So we're going to see actually what was the purpose of them climbing up there. Do they just climb, or is there anything interesting to spot? Okay, so I can already see we are in another sort of like a bay. Climbing, they did really climb for fun, because look at that. I was able to go over without any climbing, but I mean, yeah, this is like a nice edge to go down over. Look at that. Those rocks are amazing here. They are layers of rock put almost vertically and that all creates those fantastic walls. Alright, that's the end of the high walls, and here we got another beach entrance. Wow! Look at that wall. It's like flat, absolutely flat. I just wonder how it looks like at the top of it. If I will be able to walk all the way to the end of that. Alright, so here we got another entrance to the beach. So it's an escape route, just in a case. And here, look at that beautiful, beautiful waterfall. Tiny, but still waterfall. Just like the one in Lee next to Ilfracombe. And to the side of it looks like it's not the only one. Once there is more water, there is probably second one coming down here. And here I got my group of climbing kids. You can see another one another shelter being created, just like the one close to the Heartland Key. Eventually, sooner or later, water will do its job and will create a little cave under, and it has a potential to be again that nice shelter like the one we discovered next to the Heartland Key. There is more water coming from the cliff behind me. It's pretty nice here. However, the cliffs are not so high as next to the Heartland Key. I didn't check the tide today, but we are still safely out of the water range, so we should be okay to investigate what's further down. We got more low cliffs. It's pretty much like a lonely rock, just standing right in the middle of what has been already pulverized. Well, not pulverized, but yeah, turned to rubble. And we are entering the harder bit of the rocks. Now there will be a lot of ridges to jump over, I guess, although they're not so high. I have to say, here, jumping over those rocks is not so tiring and difficult as it was there. I can see, oh my god, we have discovered some shipwreck, I guess. Well, I did not expect that. I did read there is that coastline is dangerous and there was a number of shipwrecks, but I did not expect we will see one of those. And obviously remains. Here are some metal beads embedded in a rock. Look at that. That was probably the steam boiler or whatever. Some kind of shaft of some kind. Wow, yeah. Oh my god. Okay. That's probably some, yeah, it looks like a boiler remains or whatever. It's all, look at that, melted, rusted. But That is definitely the indicator. It must be a ship, and judging by the size, must be quite a ship. Look at that anchor. Wow. Is that what used to be a chimney? Oh, it's well embedded here. Yeah, but that anchor is a beautiful specimen. Absolutely, look at the size of that. Wow. Huh. Oh, that is most likely, that is a shaft. Look at that. Yeah, that is definitely a part of a shaft. Crankshaft. And whatever that was, quite a chunk of steel. And some pipes. More pipes. Oh, it's all buried. It's all buried under those cliff stones coming down. Ooh, oh, look at that. Some of them are still wobbling. Okay, we come to some more significant finds. We got part of a body, I guess. That's not yet that. Wow. Wonder how many tons that bit. 1.5, 2 tons. And here we got, look at that, some significant chunk of the body. All right. I guess it's worth to come here and take a picture of that anchor. So that was probably the find of the trip, but we are carrying on straight to see what's hiding behind that. However, I can see what's hiding is a pond of water. As you can see, there is a passage up that little pond of water, and you know I hate water. So we will try to go around, if there is any way around. I have to admit, today, oh, there is a passage around, flooded again. I have to admit to you, today, the very first, well, maybe not very first time, but one of not many times when the trip is just, what you can say, crazy. Because the secret of today's trip is I didn't even bother to check when is a low tide and what is a low tide. I mean, I got a rough understanding. We are now in a period of not very low tides and not very high tides, but as I said, I didn't check at all what are the numbers and what time. Okay, so those two passages seems to be the only passages to get here. Otherwise I need to go all the way around. However, that seems to be underwater. All here is more or less underwater, and the ponds cut you from reaching the target in every direction. So yes, that may be a trip to be undertaken from other side, or with something, with some gear that allow me to dip my feet. It's all underwater. That perspective seems to be going down right after that little hill. However, the water here is quite wavy and quite close already. I think we can at least check what's waiting on the other side. Wow! And on the other side is not waiting another beach, but more very rough jumping. Okay, that means that, ladies and gentlemen, means this is the end of our trip in here, and we have to go over land on the top of the cliff to the other location and see if it's possible to get here from the other side. If yes, then we know we can try to undertake that trip from one side to the other, and we will worry about how to pass this once we get here. In a worst case scenario, we will just have to dip the feet. That's it. Sea is waving today. The wave itself. The waves itself got about 1 meter high. I think the tide is coming up. That's it for today. We are already back, almost at the steps going out of the beach. I'm pretty convinced the water is coming up, and I'm pretty convinced that there are some plans put for another trip from the other side of that rocky ridge sticking into the sea. I'm just looking around because that place looks quite similar like the Ammonite place in Quantock's Head, and indeed, if you look very closely in here, that I think for sure was not very good, but yeah, that could be a print of Ammonite. You can see the coils and the ribs. So yeah, here is some quartz, I guess. Even here, with the little bit of luck, you can find some nice specimens in the rocks. Anyway, we got a plan. After today's trip, we got a plan to investigate that place from the other side, if it's possible, if it's not. And yes, we did discover beautiful shipwreck. So that's it for today. I will see you on another exploration, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. High five!